What would you do differently when you were in high school?
What I would do differently is I would have paid a little bit more attention. I would have, worked a little bit harder on my studies. I mean, AMSA is an overall really good school, and I get it, the uniforms and like only taking all these hard classes, I get it. But once you get to college, it actually helps you so much. You end up understanding how much ahead you are than other people in like public schools. So like definitely try to pay attention, take advantage of what they offer here because it definitely helps you.
I kind of have a different point of view. I wish I was more chill in high school. I kind of was like, oh, I have to take the hardest classes and everything, and I have to do everything and do homework every day, and like, like yes, do your work, do pay attention, try to like be a good student, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. You have your whole life ahead of you. Just kind of enjoy it.
Thanks, but I wish I had like actually enjoyed my time during high school or like savored it more. So just really enjoy the last few months that you have being here because you will miss it even if you won't miss like doing homework.
One thing I wish I had done differently was I wish I had learned to prioritize my mental health over everything else. That is something that is so important, and I learned that my freshman year of college. If you haven't learned it, you will learn it, and life will force you to learn it. But mental health is the most important thing. You can't be yourself. You can't do all of the things you want to do if that is not in check.
For me, I think the biggest thing was I had an idea on what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I tried my hardest in high school to basically make myself into a perfect person for that job, and because of that, I didn't care about a lot of the other things, and I didn't enjoy a lot of my time doing things I didn't think was worth it. So if I went back, I think I would have actually spent time doing the things I loved in the moment instead of worrying about, oh, I want to be a doctor or I want to be a lawyer and how do I exactly get there? Instead of saying, you know what, I really love my English class and I'm going to enjoy my time while I can here. So just spend time doing what you love instead of worrying about what you're going to do in like 10 years.
And I think what I would do differently is, I think going to AMSA, there's a sort of, well, it's obvious, there's a pressure to excel. And for myself, I was known to be perfectionist. So I would not associate my identity with my ability to do something, and then I would remind myself of the difference. And I also wish that I had more of a structure for studying, because when you go to college, you do find out the things you take for granted, like free time or even, ability to study. College is a whole different beast, and you want to be aware of your mental health and find a way to remain positive when you're fighting an uphill battle, I will say.
I wish that I thought of things more in terms of a skill rather than something that you either innately have or don't have. And what I mean by that is, if you consider doing something for 20 minutes a day, you get better and better at it. Then you fast forward even a year, you've already done so much of this practice, you've already done so much of this learning. And so just taking things one day at a time and breaking it down into much more manageable pieces, I think would have made my life a lot easier in high school, easier in college, and now that I'm doing it now, I just wish I was doing that earlier as well.
One of the things I wish I had done while I was here over 10 years ago now is I wish I appreciated the position I was in and took it day by day. I think my senior year of high school was definitely a tough time in my life, and I stopped enjoying the position I was in. You don't realize this, but time goes by really quickly, and you only have so much of your life in front of you. So take the time to appreciate that, focus on yourself, focus on the things that make you happy. Everything else will come in turn. I took a pretty unconventional path leaving high school. I wish I had taken the time to really think about where I wanted to be in the future, but at the same side of that token, you have to realize that things are going to change, and life as you see it right now will change. So definitely take the time to appreciate it and set yourself up for the future by prioritizing your mental health and being happy.
Sometimes when you are thinking ahead about all of the awesome stuff coming up, you kind of skip over big chunks of time in your head. Like now when you're thinking about college and you're thinking about where you're going in the fall, you might kind of forget that there is a good amount of time between now and then, and a lot of great things are going to happen before then. So kind of like slow down and appreciate that time and keep doing that throughout college because it's going to go fast.
I wish I didn't take APs that I didn't have to take. I wish that, and I only say this because, I see it in you guys when I come back, the competitiveness. I wish I didn't really get all caught up in that, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. When you look at all of us, we all do very different things. We all went to very different schools. We all have very different journeys, just like all of you do. So I wish, like, you know, I didn't take AP Bio, because I didn't need to take AP Bio for what I was going to college for. You know, I wish I didn't freak out that, you know, one of my friends applied and got into 5 schools and I only applied and got into 1. So what I'm saying is try not to get caught up in that competitive mindset just because you're at AMSA, because I know it exists. Just focus on what you're doing. Honestly don't really worry about what other people are doing.